Blazzy is arguably one of the most interesting designers associated with the hip-hop industry at this moment. Whether you've realized it or not, this artist has been the creative genius behind a ton of designs used in the rap and hip-hop scene, including merch, cover art, flyers, and much more. In addition to this impressive portfolio of design work, within the past year, he's become a staple for the No Jumper community as one of the hosts of a podcast show on their platform called Disconnected. Whether you're a creative yourself or just into fashion or hip-hop, then you'll most likely be intrigued with the rise of Blazzy. He's currently 27 years old, living in Los Angeles, working as a designer bridging the gap between hip-hop and the design world. Blazzy has become a solidified figure in both industries. He has worked with large artists and brands to provide graphic designs and developed a tight relationship with major record labels such as Atlantic and Universal Music Group. He works with clients like these while also releasing items under his own brand, Nothing Personal. His brand's main focus is clothing, while also releasing pop culture knickknacks like the Big Bob piggy banks or Ash on Me Ashley ashtrays or double cup coffee mugs. Whether or not you recognize the brand, you may be familiar with some of their releases that have blown up, most likely the equally controversial and viral Perc 30 jersey. In the past, Blazzy has just worked behind the scenes as a designer and has had an impressive list of collaborations like Lil Wayne, The Weeknd, Juice WRLD, Trippie Redd, TJX6, FaZe Clan, Air Jordan, No Jumper, Dr. Dre, Uber Eats, and V-Lone. He's even been referred to as the Cole Bennett of design. While it's impressive on its own just to have worked with these artists and brands, his own story is what makes him so impressive. 11 years ago, when he was 18, he would get a job doing door-to-door sales all over California. The sales job would encourage the employees to watch self-help videos, which ironically got him a little too motivated and encouraged him to quit the job. He was still 18 and fell flat on his face in 3 months as he wasn't able to support himself financially. He said he felt stupid and defeated at that time. He would then reluctantly work at the airport and as loss prevention at Ross while still pursuing design. But this time, he told himself he was not allowed to quit until he could sustain himself financially off of design work. He would continue to work these jobs for 3 years and would show up to his warehouse job with laptop in hand because he had that many design jobs to also do on any given day. In February 2018, Blazzy was finally able to quit these jobs when he was making enough money off of design to pay his bills, which at the time were only around $400 per month. He looks back and remembers that period as some of the best times and says all it took was a ton of perseverance. Blazzy got his professional start designing album covers for rappers like Chief Keef, Yeat, and Thousand Band Fani, before making the jump to merch design for artists like Lil Wayne. Blazzy was the mind behind the free TK t-shirt that took the internet by storm after Texas rapper TK cut off his ankle monitor and fled house arrest in 2017. This was prior to the viral song and video TK would later release titled The Race. The shirt was sold in hopes of getting money together for TK's legal fees because he had recently been put on the FBI's most wanted list. The shirt that Blazzy designed did well, and it would be his first shirt to be sold at the No Jumper store. However, Blazzy credits the 2018 Carter 5 t-shirt he designed in collaboration with Chinatown Market as the product that gave him his start in the industry, moving him from an hourly designer to a salary-based designer at Chinatown Market. Working for Chinatown Market would change Blazzy's life, but ultimately, they parted ways about 7 months later in 2019 when he started making more money on his own doing freelance design work. The amount that he was making on his own was higher than the salary Chinatown Market was paying him at the time. He was gaining attention by uploading his designs and collaborations onto his Instagram, which would lead to clients reaching out to work with him directly. It was around this time he would also begin to promote his own brand of clothing and pop culture oddities under the name Nothing Personal. Shortly after branching off on his own, he would release the infamous Perc 30 jersey, which would be the first item under the Nothing Personal brand to go completely viral. The jersey was a play on the prescription opioid pain medication Percocets. Blazzy designed this item and partnered up with Lil Housephone and Bay Savage to release the jersey. Two major artists in the hip-hop industry would promote the jersey early on, OGeezy from Shoreline Mafia and the late Juice WRLD. This was the perfect storm, and demand was through the roof. They would go on to do one more wave of orders for the jersey, which sold out quickly. After the second round of release, the Nothing Personal brand never offered the jersey again, but it's still heavily being bootlegged and sold all over the internet to this day. Now, in 2022, Blazzy says that he feels really guilty for bringing the jersey into the world. He said at that time, he truthfully wasn't as familiar with what Percocets even were, and he viewed it as more of a funny internet joke. He said that he hadn't even thought of the moral implications of creating and selling the jersey. Since then, he has lost multiple friends that have died from Percocets and fentanyl. Blazzy says he never meant to encourage drug use like Percocets, but he knows he indirectly did with the product. He is now working to bring more awareness to fentanyl and the dangers, as it's commonly found in most popular drugs like cocaine, Percocets, and even cough syrup. In his efforts, he would design, release, and sell out of the Say No to Fentanyl shirt. When the shirt would go live, he was overwhelmed by the amount of DMs he received from people about the shirt and how it's a topic they've been impacted by directly. He hopes that the shirt adds to the conversation and feels there needs to be more safety and awareness surrounding the epidemic. Blazzy was a fan of No Jumper, an online hip-hop based media platform, and originally tapped in with the channel in 2015 because they had a video up doing a drip review. He would begin to work for longtime No Jumper personality and rapper Lil Housephone in 2017, doing cover art and flyers. In 2018, they would become friends. Housephone was already heavily involved with No Jumper at that time. Housephone would promote Blazzy's Instagram account and helped get him to his first 1,000 followers. From there, Blazzy would continue to work with Housephone and even go on to design his merch. Blazzy would then start to date Cam Girl, who worked for No Jumper behind the scenes, and once the No Jumper podcast began, Cam Girl would be one of the co-hosts. She left the No Jumper platform at the end of 2020. Blazzy and Cam Girl would later break up in 2021. By this time, Blazzy was now heavily integrated into the No Jumper platform with adjacent personal relationships and through designing items that were sold by No Jumper. When the company was looking to expand their network and add more podcast shows, Housephone would pitch his own show idea to Adam that would have Blazzy as one of the hosts. Rapper and co-host of the No Jumper podcast, AD, would co-sign Blazzy and support the idea. This would then conceptualize, and in December of 2021, the show Disconnected would come to life on the No Jumper platform. Since then, Blazzy has become one of the main forces of the Disconnected podcast that streams every Thursday night on the No Jumper channel. The show's main focus is fashion and hip-hop. As a host that is involved in both worlds, he's able to weigh in on fashion conversations to give personal insight based on experience into the industry from the designer's point of view, rather than just the consumer's. It makes you feel like you're having a conversation about fashion or hip-hop with a close friend. He continues to work as a designer collaborating with impressive brands while still running his own brand, Nothing Personal. It will be interesting to see where Blazzy takes his career from here and how his influence on both hip-hop and fashion will impact culture moving forward. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day.